And it's Tzoulis for Northcote that's just about to kick off proceedings in the final game for round 6 of the Victorian Premier League. And the Georgies, it's an absolute must-win for the hosts after a positive start to the season, defeating Heidelberg by 3-2. It's been a downward spiral since. It's their only win for the season, and Andy O'Dell will be desperate to look at the transfer window with the loss of 2 defenders midweek. The Georgies working forward. Missed by all, plenty of room there for Chiappetta to clear for Northcote City. The ball's still alive between Grounds. And Grounds illegally fouling last week's goal scorer Bradley Norton. And Norton appears to be okay. And Grounds just receiving some medical attention. And a rare sight, a drop ball, and the Georgies doing the right thing. Playing it back. Theodoridis-Petropoulos will restart for Northcote City. And Peter Tsolakis. And the newly promoted Northcote City would have been slightly hesitant with his team's start. The newly promoted team into the Victorian Premier League found life tough initially, and it took a while for Northcote to register their first win. And what about it? Doing it in style 3 weeks ago against the champions, the Altona Magic, and they've backed it up, and it's good to see that Bradley Norton back on the pitch as the Georgies work forward through Fidell Richards. No one there for assistance. Tzoulis. Pressure there coming in. Papadopoulos. And not to be confused, there's 2 George Papadopoulos on the pitch. 1 for Sunshine and Northcote. George Papadopoulos for the Georgies, number 10. And his counterpart, his sweeper for Northcote, is number 5. And the referee just checking up on Bradley Norton. And he's back on the pitch. And it's a small but vocal crowd in attendance here at Knight Stadium. Probably no more than 200 to 300 people. But a lively crowd it is. Both Northcote and Georgies realising the implications of securing 3 points. Northcote can go a long way and cement a position in the top 5 should they be successful. And as for the Georgies, it's only round 6, but they want to get themselves out of any possible relegation trouble. And Andy O'Dell will not want to experience the same thing he did last season, and the Georgies left it till late to ensure their survival. Here's Richards. Through midfield, some assistance here. Nicholson. Richards, was he fouled on the turn? The referee waving play on with plenty to beat. Grounds. And all that work undone by the Georgies. And to make matters worse, Fidell Richards is limping away behind play. Worked forward again, and had he controlled that, Joryeff, that would have made life interesting. Papadopoulos. Back to Kinigopoulos. Here's Savio with the transfer. Northcote yet to press forward. And the Georgies doing their job defending. And it's another throw to the Georgies, to the dismay of the travelling Northcote supporters. Thought there might have been a foul in that, and they may have had a case too. Just over 5 minutes played here at Knight Stadium. Scores locked at 0-0 between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. Free kick taken, winning it. Papadopoulos, but not to safety. Here's Grounds. And the defending stocks for the Georgies will be questionable this week, with Gary Greenhill and Michael Sachs departing the club last week. The first shot on goal. It found the target, but no power to trouble Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And it was George Papadopoulos for the Georgies, as now Northcote turning defence into attack. Northcote pressing forward. Norton unable to control it. And they steal possession back, and surely a foul spotted by the assistant. Archimandritis brought down. It'll be Bradley Norton, as you mentioned, last week's goal scorer, as well as Jonathan Voulgaris. Rather last round, there was obviously a break in the Victorian Premier League with Easter, and we all trust you had a happy and safe Easter. In their 2-0 victory over Bentley, the set piece taken. Plenty of numbers there for the Georgies to clear. One of them, Devlin, and he delved down low for that one. Northcote weaving their way through traffic, and did well too with the cross. And Martin John had to come there under pressure from George Papadopoulos for Northcote. The defender roaming down, as we'll see. The ball came in and Papadopoulos touched it first time. Would have been interesting had he struck there. And John had to coordinate. Martin John, the Sunshine Georgies keeper, plenty of experience coordinating with his centre half to deal with the danger. And Northcote, their first real attack of the game, and it proved the most dangerous. Scores locked at 0-0, just under 10 minutes played here at Knight Stadium in this round 6 Victorian Premier League clash. And wherever you're streaming from, we trust you're enjoying the coverage. Grounds. Played down by Konstas, another man with plenty of Victorian Premier League experience with several clubs. And not the best of clearances from Northcote. An opportunity here for the Georgies. It'll be Luke Grounds again with the throw. Has Richards on the inside. Opts not to find Fidell. Well defended. As Northcote worked themselves out of trouble, it was Papadopoulos. The Georgies looking for options. It was Barry Devlin. It's a tussle for possession in midfield. Here's Savio. Dispossessed by Beck. Blackburn with the strike, and he's not far off. Well, James Blackburn, as the ball fed through in midfield, picked up the pieces and fired that in from afar on his left boot. And Theodoridis-Petropoulos had to deal with it, but luckily for he, posed no danger. Northcote will restart. Here's Archimandritis. And Northcote dispossessing possession with ease. The Georgies need to capitalise. Could be a touch too heavy this pass, but nevertheless, D'Agostino does well to combine with Chiappetta for Northcote. Richards. Laying it wide. Back on the inside. Beck. And reading it again, Chiappetta. Combining with Curtis. And Northcote on the counter. With the transfer. Kinigopoulos. Needs to make sure his teammate there is onside and is in Norton. And it will be a throw for Northcote. Looking for options on the throw. Good pressure there from Grounds. The Georgie's not out of trouble yet. Sent back in. Kinigopoulos. D'Agostino. Was he fouled? The referee says no, and the Georgies can hit hard on the counter. Plenty of red and white shirts running up. The ball whipped in. It should be dealt with by Kinigopoulos. Didn't get there. Papadopoulos laying it off. And desperately swept clear by Savio. And that's twice Northcote have found themselves in a spot of bother in the opening 10 minutes. And the Georgies have leaked 5 goals in their last 2 games. And they'll be looking to score them rather than concede them in this round 6 clash. And they've had an attacking start, but they've got nothing to show for it on the scoreboard to date. Papadopoulos. Nicholson. Work back in, Richards. And he's forced wide. Pressure here from Curtis. And good play there from Nicholas Curtis, forcing the turnover for Northcote. A deep throw. Roaming up was Norton. And the flag down. Northcote can come down in numbers. And Chiappetta eventually caught offside. Rather, Archimandritis with the run as we see. He's cut it back in and the flag up. John. Plenty of experience on the pitch for both Northcote and Sunshine this evening. Chiappetta playing it wide. Looking to work that forward was Curtis. And it's a tussle for possession. Played long into no man's land, straight to Chiappetta for Northcote. Lunging there, Savio, and he nearly came worse off. But there to pick up the pieces, Nicholson. And playing that lone striker up front, Blackburn, with too many to beat. Blackburn one-on-one with Chiappetta. Handles it well, and this time he has D'Agostino breathing down his neck. And Blackburn did well there to keep the throw and possession for the Georgies. 15 minutes played here at Knight Stadium between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. It's 0-0. And Sunshine Georgies, their first season at Knight Stadium since departing from Chaplin Reserve last season. And they're co-sharing this ground with the host tenant, the Melbourne Knights. Theodoridis-Petropoulos will restart play for Northcote. It's 0-0. He's been tested once, Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And luckily for he, the shot slightly off target. did force him into a full stretch save. Another throw for Northcote. D'Agostino. Short to Savio. Here's Chiappetta. Goes long through the corridor, and it's too long, in fact, for Voulgaris. And just under 20 minutes played here at Knight Stadium. Few opportunities to date. Northcote with a half a chance through George Papadopoulos and the Georgies. James Blackburn pulled the trigger and wasn't far off the mark 5 minutes ago. But it's 0-0. And a point isn't good enough for either of these teams. Northcote looking to press and consolidate survival. Their number one goal for this year in the Victorian Premier League. As for the Georgies, they definitely want to get themselves out of any early relegation trouble. And they look like a top 5 contender mid-season, and they fell away when it mattered later last season. Intercepted, and it's Tzoulis to work forward. Couldn't find his target there, Voulgaris. Worked away by Devlin. Papadopoulos with Papadopoulos, and Papadopoulos screaming there to his keeper not to concede the corner, and that's exactly what Theodoridis-Petropoulos does. Devlin there yet again for the Georgies. Here's Beck. Working it wide. Richards started his run in midfield, then he'll get there first. Good run from Richards. Was he fouled? A few screams from the crowd, ignored by the referee. And ultimately, once again, the pressure from the Northcote City defence coming back and supporting each other in numbers. Eventually losing it, D'Agostino. Here's Papadopoulos. Had no assistance and was dispossessed. Grounds. Once again, not hitting a target. Both teams guilty of that this evening and trying to hit on the counter with the long ball, D'Agostino, and it's well read. The danger cleared and dealt with by the Georgies. Here's Grounds. Papadopoulos. Nicholson needs support. Only has Blackburn in the box. Papadopoulos applying the pressure. Now the assistant, his flag is up. And it will be a free kick. No, in fact, the ball did go out. And Stuart Nicholson conceding possession for the Georgies. Norton made his pass away in heavy traffic, finding D'Agostino. Intercepted by Joryeff. Just over 20 minutes played in this first half at Knight Stadium. It's 0-0 between Sunshine and Northcote. We trust you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're streaming from. Sunday night football, live Victorian Premier League action here from Knight Stadium between the Sunshine Georgies and the newly promoted Northcote City. And it's an old cliche, but it's a 6-pointer in round 6. Northcote looking to capitalise with 2 consecutive victories, their first in over 19 years in the Victorian Premier League. Back in the state's top flight of football. And as for the Georgies, after a positive start, particularly winning against Heidelberg, 3-2, it's been downhill since. for Andy O'Dell's men. Kinigopoulos taking the throw quickly. And Beck finding no one up front for the Georgies. Papadopoulos, he's had plenty of the football for Northcote early on. Flicked on by Voulgaris. Here's Savio. What about that? Beat 3 and laid it off forward. A touch too heavy. The right intention there to find Bradley Norton, as we'll see. And it's flicked on, wanting the run there of Bradley Norton. A touch too heavy. Great play, nevertheless, from Paul Savio. Tzoulis. And the Georgies hit on the counter. And they'll need a few red and white shirts to press up front. Nothing much presenting in the box, and Blackburn is offside. It was an easy call for the assistant. And the Georgies caught Northcote on the counter, and Blackburn, a bit like the store gift, started that run a good 3 metres early. Theodoridis-Petropoulos, the deep ball. Here's Richards, working it wide, and the Georgies like to press their attacks along this left side. Once again, the attack started, and once again, Northcote, in particular D'Agostino and Chiappetta, have dealt with the danger 9 times out of 10, and they've done it once again. John. This time once, George Papadopoulos slipping at that crucial moment, releasing Kinigopoulos. Kinigopoulos did all the hard work. Not the best of passes there, looking for Voulgaris on the inside. Beck going long, and this time Blackburn stayed offside as the Georgies press forward. And the strike from Papadopoulos. Not enough to beat the keeper. Blackburn thought he may have been fouled there, and here's Papadopoulos through his counterpart in George Papadopoulos, but not enough to beat Theodoridis-Petropoulos. Curtis with the return ball. Needs some assistance. Northcote with the transfer rather. Smart play again from Savio. Lays it off, and this time some space for Northcote. And nearly through was Curtis. Desperate defending from the Georgies. Papadopoulos, a smart flick on the inside. Won't get his own ball. Tzoulis. Northcote starting to find their feet. It's a delicate chip here for Norton. Cleared by Devlin. A rare corner for Northcote this half. As we'll see, the chip coming in, the delivery, finding Norton, cleared by Devlin. And it's a corner for Northcote City. It'll be taken by Nick Tzoulis. 25 minutes played in the first half. Round 6, Victorian Premier League football coming to you live. Broadcast and streamed on VPL Online. We trust you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're streaming it from. The corner from Tzoulis. And it will be another. Bradley Norton. And it's a cold, windy Sunday evening. And wherever you're streaming from this worldwide, we hope you're enjoying a pina colada in the Caribbean if you're watching this. Another corner, too deep. Nevertheless, the strike coming in from Nick Tzoulis. And in fact, with the technology available to us here, we're just realising that we've got a few people tuning in from Europe, in particular, a few viewers from Turkey. So we trust you're enjoying the coverage in Europe, and it's a good Sunday morning to you. Martin John. To restart for the Sunshine Georgies. Won again by Savio, who's been very influential in midfield for Northcote. Manager Peter Tsolakis will be happy with his efforts to date. Kinigopoulos wants Curtis and opted to work it in on the inside. There to Voulgaris instead. Grounds. Papadopoulos. This looks like a good build-up here for the Georgies, and it's a good ball too from Blackburn. Papadopoulos' cross. Theodoridis-Petropoulos does get there before any danger that Nicholson posed for the Georgies. Papadopoulos did well there on the right-hand side, as the replay indicated. A touch too late there for Nicholson. And we've seen those spilt in this round. So it was well held there by Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And the game that comes to mind between Bentley and Green Gully, some goalkeeping errors in that game, costing the Greens a goal or two on Friday night. Northcote working it across their back four. Here's Chiappetta. Intercepted there by Devlin. And the Georgies looked like they were about to press Chiappetta. Had to clear it quickly. Curtis twisting and weaving, eventually sending it back. Northcote eventually playing it down the line. May have been a foul. There to Voulgaris. Well, he hasn't got the foul, but he's certainly got the throw. On the stroke of the half-hour mark here at Knight Stadium, it's 0-0 between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. And both teams looking for a victory for different reasons. The Georgies looking to stop a rot. Consecutive losses. Looking to rebound from their loss to Hume City in round 5 by 3-2. And Northcote, as Peter Tsolakis, the manager, mentioned during the week, Easter came at the wrong time for his troops. They were on a roll, and they would have loved to have maintained that momentum last week. And the away contingent screaming for a foul there. This would be interesting. The ball played long. Tzoulis and the run. Richards bringing his opponent down. It looked to be Archimandritis, and the referee thinking there was nothing in that. And from the naked eye, it looked to be nothing in it as well. But it's another corner for Northcote City. Can the deadlock be broke? On the stroke of the half-hour mark, Chiappetta looking to finish that. John with confidence, coming off his line and punching it clear, as experienced keepers do. Richard should get there. Has the support of Joryeff. And an obvious foul. Richards winning the header. Finds Joryeff and coming in. Too late there. Voulgaris for Northcote. Georgies once again go long and down that left flank. Blackburn has some assistance on the inside. He measured his run a touch too late. There, Nicholson. Papadopoulos. Here's Nicholson. It will be a corner for the Georgies. Cutting that ball in on the inside was Blackburn. And he thought he had the support there of Nicholson, but not to be. But the Georgies with a corner themselves. Just under 15 minutes. One of these teams to break a deadlock in the first half. Corner played short. Sent in by Joryeff. Too deep for all. And with plenty of time to mop this up, Kinigopoulos has plenty of blue shirts looking to run out of their own half for Northcote, but not for long. They'll be going back in. And what a waste there by Devlin. He's had a good first half, been very sharp in defence, and a rare pass astray for the Georgies defender. Norton. Speaking of passes astray, here's two. He wanted Savio. Blackburn laying it wide. Joryeff with some space on the inside, whipping it in, and the header across goal. Blackburn nearly found the opener for the Georgies. It was a sharp ball delivered by Joryeff and flicked away, and nearly finished there by James Blackburn. Nearly had the first with a low drive in the 10th minute mark, and he nearly found his name on the score sheet again in the 32nd. This time, looking to finish with a header, James Blackburn for the Georgies. Andy O'Dell will be positive, you think, with this start by the Georgies. They've contained Northcote 20, no more than a shot or two on goal, and the Georgies have had the better of the chances. But once again, nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Can this momentum be held by the Georgies for at least another 55 plus minutes in this contest? And there's just over 10 minutes remaining in this first half, and the crowd not happy with the referee's decision. And Blackburn nearly conceded a goal. It was a 50-50, and it's gone Northcote's way. Here's Blackburn roaming up front. Played it down the line. Chiappetta will get there before Nicholson. And a bit of a break as referee just making sure all is fine on the bench for both Northcote and the Georgies. Play resumes, and collecting some frequent flyer points there, Kyle Joryeff. And he's in a spot of bother too with his crash landing, as he goes up and bang, comes down with a thud. And that certainly would have hurt. Has some medical treatment. Comes out for Kyle Joryeff. And Andy O'Dell just whispering some instructions on the sidelines in the meantime to his troops. One of them, Blackburn, and also Nicholson there. And Northcote too. Also, in the meantime, just regathering their thoughts in defence, Chiappetta and Papadopoulos having a chat. And so too that man, Paul Savio, contender for one of the better players on the pitch in the first half. Paul Savio. As play resumes, that man again, Savio, in a tussle. Should have collected a free kick. Nevertheless, play continues, unable to control it. Wasn't the best of passes there to Archimandritis. Beck. Laying it wide to Joryeff. Good to see him back up in one piece. Joryeff dispossesses. Jorjeff's chip. What a goal this will be! And he did the right thing there, Kyle Joryeff. He spotted the opposing keeper, Theodoridis-Petropoulos, off his line, and the chip wasn't far off away there on the far post. And the Georgies continue to pepper the goals, but they're yet to find the back of the net. And that would have been good news for Georgie's fans, seeing Kyle Joryeff back up in one piece and nearly scoring himself. Could have been a cross that went wayward, but it was certainly goal bound. And we've got to give him the full credit for an intended shot on goal. And once again, the Georgies press. Blackburn will get there. Well covered and charged down. Chiappetta denying any shot there on the outside as the ball comes in. Blackburn this time found himself in an offside position. And with the foot out to draw the corner, Chiappetta. The Georgies with the corner. And a great opportunity for either of these teams to clinch the lead. Just under 5 minutes to go before half time. Cleared there by Tzoulis. They're not out of trouble yet, Northcote. Lunging challenge, Papadopoulos. And an even better challenge coming in there too. Kinigopoulos. And a little lazy there by Konstas, but it still draws the throw for the Georgies. Grounds. Papadopoulos. The best of transfers. And as a result, didn't leave Kyle Joryeff with much time to control it, but he's back with possession. Well read and defended. D'Agostino combining once again with Chiappetta. And Chiappetta, he's played well, not the best of passes, however, there. Put his teammate Paul Savio under pressure. And the turnovers conceded by Northcote. Pressure there. Archimandritis to force another turnover. There's been plenty of them this half. It's a great ball too. Martin John had to come off his line. Bradley Norton, the flag was down, and what about the delivery? And it was well played. Nick Tzoulis, it was threaded through midfield. And Bradley Norton was offside. Martin John read it, was one step ahead. And came off his line quick. Papadopoulos squares it to Chiappetta. And Chiappetta just letting himself down the last few minutes after a very consistent first half. Clearing a lot of danger on the right-hand side for Northcote, combining with D'Agostino. Here he is again. D'Agostino dispossessed. Chiappetta has assistance on his left side, George Papadopoulos. And as Papadopoulos and Chiappetta can sense space a premium in midfield, opted to go long towards Norton. John. Beck. Great combination here for the Georgies grounds. Papadopoulos has Nicholson inside who's screaming for it, and Papadopoulos, Nicholson's frustrated with his teammate, wanted that first time round. Papadopoulos just suggesting there to his teammate, if you were a bit closer to me, I would have laid it off to you. Grounds. The Georgies pressing for the advantage prior to the half-time break. And an easy way to cough up possession there for the Georgies was Fidell Richards. Here he is, laying it off wide. D'Agostino will get there. Just under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. It's 0-0 between the Georgies and Sunshine Georgies rather, and Northcote City. The ball whipped in, Chiappetta. Too hot to control. Another corner for the Georgies. And it's taken quickly. Sent in by the Georgies. Blackburn this time with another header to finish. And James Blackburn, as we'll see, the corner taken quickly, whipped directly into the box. Blackburn won the header with his height, unable to keep it down. And that's what saved Northcote in the end. The ball sailing over the bar. And 3 great chances for James Blackburn. 2 headers and a strike from far range in this half. Could have easily had a goal against his name. Some holding on there between Devlin. He's frustrated. Looking at the referee thinking, why wasn't that a free kick? But it's not to be, and he just needs to get on with the game. Barry Devlin. And Northcote smartly taking it quickly. Curtis lost it at the vital moment. Combining here with Norton. And the crowd just starting to get into this contest too. And the noise level up a notch. And the intensity too in the latter stages of this first half. Tzoulis has assistance back. It's Chiappetta. Papadopoulos. Northcote playing it short, looking for that opening. And the Georgies giving Northcote little or no space in midfield. They're having difficulty rather clearing it out of their own half, and the pressure prevailing from the Georgies. The turnover's on and another attack upon goal. Grounds. Slipping over Banks. And clinch possession back. Nicholson. Grounds. Solid challenge there from Tzoulis. Grounds. The ball's still alive. It's back with Grounds. Has Beck on the inside but opts to go long. It's a good ball too. Papadopoulos is wide. And the layoff there from Nicholson. A touch too heavy. Good build-up nevertheless from the Georgies. The long ball from Grounds. Flicked on. And Papadopoulos unable to get a cross in. And bar some injury treatment to Joryeff. You don't think there'll be much stoppage time in this first half as we approach the 45th minute mark in the first half. And it's 0-0 between Sunshine and Northcote. Round 6, Victorian Premier League action coming to you live from the Knight Stadium. And we hope you're enjoying this broadcast live on the net. Papadopoulos clearing. Here's Grounds. Papadopoulos had options, but he only found the captain for the Georgies, Fidell Richards. And it's his opponent, George Papadopoulos, with possession for the Georgies. Deep throw, flicked by Papadopoulos to the safety of Theodoridis-Petropoulos. Was going to go short, but plays it long. May have been a hit of handball from Voulgaris. Martin John. Not the best of clearances, but it's effective. Nearly into the inside of the Northcote half. Papadopoulos. Curtis, dispossessed, had no assistance when it was needed. Well played there by Richards. Sunshine won't be able to press forward. Chiappetta should combine with D'Agostino to clear, and he's felled behind play too. And Northcote turning defence into attack. Norton, last week's goal scorer, his cross, a touch too heavy for Archimandritis. He will keep it alive. Great play this by Northcote. The Georgies with the numbers to clear. No communication there between the two centre halves. Archimandritis kept it alive, as we see on the replay. Whipped it in, and the two centre halves, it was a raffle there, and you can see Martin John in the background, frustrated. Have conceded a corner right at the end of the first half, the Georgies. And it's more danger for the Georgies to deal with right at the end of the first half. John making sure he has a clear side of it. And it was goal bound too. He tipped that over the post, the corner. Ended up becoming a strike on goal. Whipped in. And as you see, Martin John taking no chances. Devlin would have missed it. Well, in fact, a correction. I thought he tipped that over the bar. Not to be. The woodwork must have done the job. And it's bounced off the woodwork for a goal kick. John. And on that note, half-time is signalled here at Knight Stadium, and it's a stalemate between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. Scores locked at 0-0. Both teams, in particular the Georgies, through the services of James Blackburn, had several opportunities to break the deadlock. It's not the case. It's 0-0 at the moment between Sunshine and Northcote, and we'll be back shortly with all the action from the second half. We're all underway here at Knight Stadium. Stephen Beck opts to go long. Could be a waste of possession. And it turns out it is. It's a correction, rather. Georgie's kicking from right to left of screen. Theodoridis-Petropoulos playing it short. Archimandritis. Or D'Agostino there. And a bit of a dour first half. A game not characterised with many chances on goal. And the Georgies in particular, James Blackburn with the best chances in the first half. And that man too, George Papadopoulos, had one of the few chances for Northcote City in the first half. Chiappetta has combined well with D'Agostino all evening. And the pass nearly astray there for Curtis. Had time and space in midfield to recover. Curtis again. The Georgies looking to forge their first attack in the second half, and it's come undone. Well, maybe the opportunity presents itself again. Nicholson with the transfer. Papadopoulos once again. Blackburn's the target in the box. If Papadopoulos can find him, opts to do so now. It's too deep for Blackburn, and it's also too short there for Grounds. Cameron flicking that high into no man's land. Richards placing his opponent under pressure, and too much pressure. Norton will collect the free kick. Richards through one, but this time bringing down Norton right in front of the Northcote City bench. Work long by Savio. The Georgies have the numbers to clear. Swept away by Cameron. Well controlled by Chiappetta. Has options wide. He's still streaming through midfield. Chiappetta searching for assistance. And he wanted the assistance wide from Archimandritis. It wasn't there. Here's Beck. And eventually lost by Nicholson for the Georgies. Chiappetta. Cut off by Richards. Fidell Richards, the Georgies captain. Blackburn. Joryeff. Did he keep it alive? Chiappetta disagrees. And once again, it's he and D'Agostino combined to clear. Richards. Scrambling for possession. Had to be careful there. Lunging at full stretch there. The stud's up, Richards. Lucky man, he misses opponent there in Nicholas Curtis. Joryeff. Short to Beck. Here's Nicholson. Plenty of blue shirts back for Northcote. Beck couldn't weave his way through traffic, and now Northcote, with so many numbers deep, one of them has to make a presence up front. And it's Tzoulis doing so for Northcote. Well defended by the Georgies. The runner Papadopoulos, George Papadopoulos. And collected unfairly. As we see Papadopoulos making his run and coming in, and the leg definitely up by Nick Tzoulis. No ball, only Papadopoulos' leg. Blackburn with some space. Can finish from here, Blackburn, and had the chance to do so. And wanted to take one too many defenders on, and possession was lost. Archimandritis whipping it in. It's a good ball too. And wanting to finish there, Jonathan Voulgaris. And the Georgies defending gallantly. An open game in the second half. Defence quickly turning into attack. Nicholson. Forced back. Has assistance. Papadopoulos. And that ball to nowhere. Straight to Theodoridis-Petropoulos. 7 minutes played in the second half. It's 0-0 between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. Sunday night Victorian Premier League football, round 6 coming to a close. And what a congested table it is at the moment. Not much separating Hume City, presently in first position, down to the likes of Northcote, who are currently 6th with 7 points. And the Georgies, they're currently in 9th position with 5 points to their name to date. The 1 win and 2 draws, and they'll desperately be wanting 3 points to find themselves back in the hunt and in the mix with the top 5. And as for Northcote, currently lying just above in 6th position. And wouldn't Peter Tsolakis love 3 points away? And currently on 7 points, maximum 3 could see them with the likes of Richmond and South Melbourne on the table. Time will tell. And Northcote putting themselves under unnecessary pressure in their own half. Chiappetta once again with a run, and this time finding a target, Curtis. And he in turn couldn't find one in Voulgaris. Sabio fighting Archimandritis. Playing it down the line, but intercepted. Tzoulis' ball. This time he heads it back. D'Agostino got there and transferred it to Kinigopoulos. Here's Kinigopoulos. Gets the return ball. And a bit hesitant there. Didn't know whether to lay that off or have an attempt to finish that himself. And a foul. Paul Sabiot bringing down George Papadopoulos. And George Papadopoulos, on that note, he's been fouled, collected the free kick, and he's being substituted at the same time too. Andy Ardell turning to his bench for the first time this evening. George Papadopoulos coming off. Now it looks as though it's Evan Christodoulou. We'll have that confirmed with you in a moment. Grounds with the free kick. Northcote will clear, but not for long. Stolen back by Richards, and the flag down here for Nicholson, and the cross over goal to James Blackburn. Too high for the tall timber striker, even for his sake. And you see Nicholson's cross, and a touch too high. Despite how tall James Blackburn is, not even he could control that. And another chance wasted by the Georgies. And now it's Northcote looking to turn defence into attack. Beck. And the Georgies clear through Cameron. Nicholson draws a corner for the Georgies, to the warm applause of the home crowd. Another corner for the Georgies. Lay it off. A chance here. There to finish Konstas. Northcote desperately clearing. Sent back in, and Theodoridis-Petropoulos there to thwart any danger. Cameron claiming his stake for a free kick, and the referee agrees. Definitely pushed there by Voulgaris. Chiappetta winning the header. Joryeff closed down, and what a tackle that was. Paul Sabiot, one of the best players on the ground for me this evening for Northcote City, playing a stellar game. Konstas' throw. Here's Richards. And he made that look easy too. What a run from Fidell Richards, and he lost it. Did all the hard work. Northcote City, don't think they'll have the chance to hit on the counter. Well controlled and defended there by Beck, and collects the free kick in the process. Joryeff, another tall presence for the Georgies in that attacking midfield role he's played this evening. Here he is again, flicking it on towards Blackburn. Chiappetta clearing the danger yet again, and did well. Another good player for Northcote this evening, combining with Savio. He's had plenty of the football too. Papadopoulos searching for options. Will go short. Tzoulis just measuring his options. And it's a perfectly weighted pass too. Whipped in, but eventually cleared by Devlin. Joryeff. And a rare mistake from Papadopoulos. The Georgies can swoop here has the run of Beck, and Papadopoulos redeems himself, charging that shot down. And in fact, it was Savio charging that down. Once again, great play from Paul Savio. Chiappetta. It's Papadopoulos, and he's unhappy with himself behind play, conceding that easily. And having his head behind all that, turned behind play, Bradley Norton had the ball laid off to him on a plate to work that forward and not to be. Here's Curtis. This game starting to open up in the second half. It's defended by Cameron. Both teams just searching for options up front, making life difficult for themselves in the final third. What can Nicholson do? And defended by D'Agostino, only a throw for the Georgies. D'Agostino and Chiappetta quite imposing in defence this evening for Northcote. 60 minutes played here at Knight Stadium. It's 0-0 between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote. All 3 points up for grabs, and a stalemate is not the result that either of these clubs want. Northcote with some pace was Norton, and he's here to nearly collect the return ball. The danger's cleared by Devlin, but it will be a corner for Northcote. And you can see there, Norton started it, combining there with Voulgaris. Nearly had the return ball, but there to spoil was Devlin. Northcote getting ready for this corner, and it's played long too. Savio sends it back. Curtis. Archimandritis. Back to his keeper, Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And a waste of a corner there for Northcote. It's a throw for the Georgies. As a substitution will be made by Peter Tsolakis, and what a return this will be. Coming on for Northcote will be Trent Rixon, and he's come back after a bout of osteitis pubis, and what a absolute presence he will be up front. Trent Rixon for Northcote, and coming off Archimandritis, Jim Archimandritis. And Trent Rixon back in the Northcote outfit with several weeks of injury, and in fact missed both wins. As a result, Richards. Plenty of defenders back for Northcote. And what about that? D'Agostino, that was difficult. He definitely made that look easy, and conceding all that hard work, Voulgaris. Beck, twisting, turning, searching for an option. Assistance provided through Cameron. Beck opts to go long towards Blackburn. The flag down. Was there a Hina handball? The referee disagrees, but it's another corner for the Georgies. And Beck, his delivery towards Blackburn. May have been a touch of handball. The Georgies lucky to draw the corner. The Georgies corner off his line there and down on the ground. Theodoridis-Petropoulos. Lucky he had the assistance there of Petropoulos. Another claim of handball ignored. And this time it's turned against the Georgies, and Northcote can turn defence into attack. Trent Rixon with his first touch for the game, and it nearly resulted in a goal. Well, only seconds ago they were clearing off their own goal line, Northcote, And this man, Trent Rixon, into the play immediately. What a presence he is, even though he's not 100% fit. Didn't train for most of the week at John Cain Reserve. And Peter Tsolakis did mention he may come on and use his #1 strike weapon. That's exactly what he's done midway through the second half. Rixon drawing the throw. As we approach the 65th minute mark here at Knight Stadium, it's 0-0 between Northcote City and the Georgies. And if you're just streaming in, wherever you're streaming in from, we trust you're enjoying the coverage. It's Northcote City in the blue and the Georgies in their traditional red and white tops. But not playing at their traditional ground, their home of over 60 years, Chaplain Reserve. They've finally relinquished the Georgies. And in search of a permanent home, they'll be calling Knight Stadium their temporary home for at least this year in the Victorian Premier League. The Sunshine Georgies, just like many other clubs in Victoria, rich in tradition and steeped in it too. And Northcote, great to see the boys in blue back in the Premier League after 19 years out of it. And it's a great ball too here for Rixon. Rixon, will he finish? The touch came there from grounds. But looking the finish was Nicholas Curtis. It's just made a dent into the billboard. That's the only damage done. Curtis. Well, why not have a crack? Opportunities have been a premium for Northcote this evening. And Peter Tsolakis recognising that and bringing on his star striker. And coming off, speaking of strikers, James Blackburn for the Georgies. James Blackburn replaced by Adrian Nabbout. And here's Nabbout getting his first touch. Richards. And a touch too wide. It will be Kinigopoulos' throw. Petropoulos back to his keeper. Here he is again. Curtis. Finding a target in the middle of the park. And turnovers have been quite common in this contest. Nabbout, another touch for the youngster. Joryeff. And again another attack foiled for the Georgies. D'Agostino's pass, a rare mistake from him this evening. He's been stellar in that right full back position. Touch too wide, looking there for Trent Rixon. Agostino. In fact, rather Chiappetta, but he will now combine with D'Agostino. Nearly finding himself in a spot of bother. Flicked back by Beck. And an obvious foul. And it's the new substitute, Nabbout, in the thick of it. Bringing down D'Agostino. And nearly 70 minutes and counting here at Knight Stadium. And the stalemate continues, 0-0 between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. And the Georgies will definitely need to look for maximum points at home. They've got a tough task next week away to Richmond. And Friday night football. And in the meantime, Fidell Richards, will he find his name in the book? That challenge on Savio. And Savio, as you can see, run and brought down. And it won't result in a caution for Richards, but it will result in a free kick and a set piece for Northcote City. And as for Northcote, a string of consecutive away games, not far from each other either. This one here at Knight Stadium, and next week they'll be playing Green Gully in Saturday afternoon football. Played short. Chiappetta with the chip. Martin John prevails under no pressure. And Martin John, one aspect of his game that lets him down is his disposal. The Georgies. Miscommunication. And once again, a tale of turnovers in the middle of the pitch. Beck has assistance wide. Konstas. Papadopoulos lunged for it and he spilt possession. Nabbout across the face of goal. Had a crack, it was wayward, but the ball still alive. The Georgies looking to break this deadlock, and he had plenty of time there, Joryeff, and he made a meal of it. And once again, it's a relieved Papadopoulos for Northcote, coughing up possession. Nabbout swooped. His shot was wide off the mark, but Nabbout again, low-lying drive, held by Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And it was laid off, and Nabbout, low drive. Theodoridis-Petropoulos could have afforded to let that go, but it would have been a fine line. Beck sending it in, and this time goalkeeping made a lot easier for Theodoridis-Petropoulos under no pressure there whatsoever. Just under 20 minutes remaining in this contest. Scores locked at 0-0. And that means all 3 points up for grabs. And the Georgies so desperately need them more than Northcote at this stage of the season. And currently lying in 4th last. And Northcote, well, they were there at the start of the season, but a string of consecutive wins, and their season's been turned around. Beck. And it's been an impressive season thus far from the Victorian Premier League debutants. A quarter of the way into the season. Richards combines with Beck. Here's Joryeff on the inside, looking to redeem himself after that previous chance. Joryeff. His shot charged by Chiappetta. And here's Voulgaris. Northcote, a great chance to hit on the counter. Rixon's there short if he wants him. Takes his opponent on. And Devlin did well there against Voulgaris. Savio had no assistance, and hence the turnover. Cameron playing it down the line. Touch of cramp there, creeping in for D'Agostino, but he's okay. Cameron. Here's Nicholson. And his cross, not finding a target either. It's a great flick on here from Rixon. Can it open up here for Norton? And not out of trouble yet. And Rixon made some ground to get to that ball. Fired, but fired wide. And Curtis nearly found some room with his opponent grounds on the inside. Not to be, and Rixon shot wide of the mark. That's better play, though, from Northcote on the counter. And another substitution made by Northcote. Coming off, Jonathan Voulgaris. And we'll confirm the substitute when we get the chance in a moment. It looks to be James Kalifatidis, and it is for Northcote. Curtis sending that one high into the terraces. Cameron. Pressure applied from Rixon. And he's just letting Cameron know that too. Christodoulou, the new substitute, concedes the free. D'Agostino. How many times have these two combined this evening? D'Agostino and Chiappetta. Definitely two of Northcote's best. And so too Savio. Here's Tzoulis. Possession back with the Georgies. And once again, Papadopoulos caught flat-footed. And now blue shirts come back in numbers for Northcote, but they're not out of trouble yet. Northcote a chance here for the Georgies, and what a save. Kyle Jorjeff's strike, as we'll see on the replay. The ball whipped in, flicked across, and Joryeff, and the hand coming out there, Theodoridis-Petropoulos. And it was an instinctive save, and it did the job. That was the closest either of these teams looked like breaking the deadlock. And Kyle Joryeff nearly redeemed himself after squabbling a previous chance. Just under 15 minutes remaining here at Knight Stadium. And when you get better chances than that, Theodoridis-Petropoulos hasn't had much to do. And he was certainly called on when needed. And in the meantime, the referee just spotting the assistant's call at the Sunshine Georgies player. Stepped over the line when taking that throw. D'Agostino. Joryeff will get the return ball and the flag down here for Nicholson. Can Nicholson finish? What a tackle that was. Paul Savio, he has been in everything. And in fact, it was Papadopoulos as Nicholson comes in. Papadopoulos, apologies there. It was Papadopoulos and Savio look absolutely alike from the box. And Papadopoulos redeeming himself. Corner for the Georgies. May have been an infringement. The referee agrees. It certainly was a Northcote free kick. Player down behind play. Should be okay. And maybe a bout of cramp too, creeping in. And in the meantime, Theodoridis-Petropoulos will recommence play for Northcote. And time ticking down for either Northcote City or the Georgies to collect maximum points. Well, we saw South Melbourne Heidelberg this afternoon. Heidelberg in front for the bulk of their game. The last game played before Bob Jane Stadium is renovated. And South Melbourne scoring at the death. Can the same thing happen here? One of these teams score at the death and snatch victory at the final hour. Time will tell. Just over 10 minutes remaining. John goes long. Has a target. Nabbout up front. And grounds. Well, he made plenty of ground to get to this throw. He was near John only a moment ago. Claims of handball turned down. And you feel that was a sense of karma for Northcote. Tsolakis marshalling his troops behind screen and knowing all is on the line. 10 minutes remaining in this final game to conclude round 6 of the Victorian Premier League. And in a round that's been characterised with plenty of draws, an opportunity for one of these teams to make some advantage on the ladder and snatch maximum points. Cogger. The throw taken quickly. He's crossing. And somehow the Georgies still have it. Beck. Back with Joryeff. Joryeff will take Norton on. Kinigopoulos. And Northcote will clear. It didn't look pretty, but it was effective. And looking to hit on the counter with the transfer. Trying to find Curtis in space, but not to be. Cameron read it well for the Georgies. Christodoulou lost it. Here's Rixon. Curtis could have been held. Well, the free kick's gone the other way. And in fact, it was Kalifatidis holding on his opponent there in Nabbout for the Georgies. And a disruption in play. The referee, once again, is having a chat with an official on the bench. Play will resume. Grounds. Goes long. A chance here for the Georgies, and it's swooped on. And it's Konstas. And what about that for a long ball from Grounds over Petropoulos. And coming in, breaking the deadlock, Konstas, to the warm applause of the home crowd. And that's what we were talking about, taking the advantage and the opportunity to potentially snatch maximum points. And the Georgies have certainly done that. And it was 0-0 for over 80 minutes of this contest. And with just under 10 remaining, the Georgies have the advantage. A goal to Konstas, breaking this deadlock finally. And it's the Sunshine Georgies 1, Northcote City 0. And just want to make an immediate correction. I've acknowledged Konstas as scoring the goal, but we've also come word that Ben Cogger was the scorer. Nick Cogger, number 17 for the Georgies. We'll have that immediately checked for you as play resumes in Northcote. Their search for an equaliser. And apologies in the media box once again. Light is a premium here with this broadcast. On the outer flank, we'll have that confirmed. And we will go with the official acknowledging that Nick Cogger was the goal scorer. Northcote, can they rebound? John spilt it, but luckily for he, the referee spotted an infringement. And it will be going the Georgies' way. 5 minutes and counting for the Georgies to hold on to this lead. And what a long 5 minutes it will be. And if you're a Northcote supporter, it will be 5 minutes to fully capitalise and at least clinch a point back in this contest. John. Worked forward. May have been brought down there. Nabbout. Referee disagrees. The Georgies work forward again. Here's Nicholson. the chance to double their lead. And the cross too deep there for Beck on the far post. As we see the ball laid off. And the cross coming in. And no one there for the Georgies on the far post. And just to have that confirmed with you, it was Nick Cogger who was the goal scorer for the Georgies. And I've got a feeling this team sheet is incorrect. It's actually Ben Cogger, despite Nick being mentioned here. As play continues, a great chance for the Georgies to make it 2. And what about that run from Nicholson? And Theodoridis-Petropoulos, he's already made one brilliant save and he's come up with another. D'Agostino looked to have had it covered. Norton will need to take this free kick quickly. He scored last week, in fact a fortnight ago, in Northcote's victory over the Bentley Greens. What can he conjure with just under 5 minutes remaining and give Northcote a lifeline in this contest? Opts for the chip. Grounds clearing. Norton. And coming up with the clearance for the Georgies and doing well there was Joryeff. Kinigopoulos. Chiappetta. Time now a premium for Northcote. Savio towards Rixon. Had to be careful there. Devlin didn't want to concede a foul just inside the box. That was a touch too late from Cameron on Kalifatidis. Norton. Will it be a corner for Northcote? It is. Northcote with less than 5 minutes remaining in search of that all-important equaliser. Another corner. No pressure again on John. No one wanting to finish off that for Northcote. And for all you viewers, just to reassure you, it was Ben Cogger, number 17 for the Georgies, that did score that all-important goal. And what a vital time that was for the Georgies. They haven't tasted victory since round 1. And are they on the cusp of doing so 5 rounds later? Chiappetta sending it long. And the referee having a chat there with Barry Devlin and also Cameron. Now, players being cautioned. It looks as though it's Konstas. Rixon smartly cutting that in on the inside. Northcote with the transfer and the pace here of Kinigopoulos. Soares, the new substitute, getting his first touch for Northcote. Ironically, against his old club too, the Sunshine Georgies. Northcote looking to cancel out Ben Cogger's strike in the 83rd minute for the Georgies. And they're trailing Sunshine by a goal to 0. Cameron Clearing on the last line there for the Georgies. Here's Nabbout. Playing it down the line. And what a ball too to Christodoulou. Christodoulou needs assistance and it's not there. Had the chance to either have a crack and finish or hold it and try and find the assistance of Nabbout, but couldn't do either. Beck. He's dispossessed, and it's a great chance here for Northcote on the counter if they can feed it quickly, and they do. A great ball here from Norton. Rixon, what an opportunity to finish this, and it's a great save from Martin John. It will be a corner. Trent Rixon, he's come on in the second half after coming back from injury, and as the replay indicated, it was goal bound and denied when it mattered by Martin John. Corner for Northcote. Rixon missed it, but Papadopoulos didn't. And the corner came in. Rixon looked to flick it on. Papadopoulos finished just wide of the mark. And there won't be much stoppage time in this second half, and the Georgies counting down to what will be an invaluable 3 points. You can already hear the whistles from the home supporters pleading the referee to draw this game to a close, but there'll surely be at least another 2 to 3 minutes. Chiappetta. Here's Agostino. D'Agostino has had a great game for Northcote this afternoon. Through traffic, Savio. Soares laying it wide. Rixon again denied by Martin John. His nemesis this evening. And Martin John is absolutely furious with the Georgies. And what about? It was a smart flick on there from Soares, finding Rixon in space. And the Georgies holding on. Northcote throwing everything at the death. Curtis. Cut back in. And luckily for the Georgies, that didn't find the mark. That strike there from Bradley Norton. And Martin John, should the Georgies hold on, he's had little to do in the game himself, bar the final 10 minutes. 2 telling saves against Trent Rixon. What a valuable asset he is for Northcote. So lively up front. He's a dangerous presence, making life difficult for any defence. John. Again, not the best of clearances. His only blotch on what's been a fine game, particularly in the final 10 minutes. The Georgies. They've been on the counter since scoring. Trying to defend their lead. They've definitely been on the defence. Wearing the captain's band in the meantime, Stephen Beck. When Fidell Richards was substituted. Chiappetta. Surely one of the final pieces of play for Northcote and their chance to snatch what would be a point at the death. Rixon did well to outplay his opponent. His cross. And a chance here and held by Martin John. And Rixon's cross whipped in and finding the target there on the back post. And unfortunately there, Kalifatidis couldn't finish. Martin John once again in the way, and he's been in the way for Northcote in the last 10 minutes. Pressing forward yet again, Northcote. Desperately cleared by Beck. And Nicholson looks to work forward, and that concludes this round 6 game here at Knight Stadium between the Sunshine Georgies and Northcote City. And after being a stalemate for the first 80 minutes, it took a strike from Ben Cogger in the 82nd minute, and that splits the difference between Northcote and the Georgies. It's a priceless 3 points for the Georgies. Their first taste of victory since the opening round of the season. And as for Northcote, well, that definitely halts their run of momentum after registering 2 prior victories in the Victorian Premier League prior. It'll be a happy Andy O'Dell that gets his season back on track, and depending on final results, the Georgies could be in the 8, and that will be, in the 5 rather, that will be on goal difference. They're presently in 8th position. Such is the importance of the 3 points for the Georgies this evening. And as for Northcote, they're temporarily railroaded. It's the first of 2 difficult away assignments. They've come away with nothing this evening against the Sunshine Georgies, and next week they'll have to do it all again down the road when they play the Green Gully Cavaliers at Green Gully Reserve. And it's Ben Cogger that's the difference for the Georgies in a game that was characterised with very few chances for both Northcote and Sunshine. And Martin John was really telling at the death, making those 2 fine saves on Trent, Rixon, and at the final piece of play with James Kalifatidis denying Northcote a chance for an equaliser. And as for Northcote, their goalkeeper, Theodoridis, he didn't have much to do, made a great save, denying Joryeff when it mattered. And it's a relieved Andy O'Dell. Will be going down to the victorious Sunshine Georgies manager in a moment. And with him is now Mia Hayes.
Andy, congratulations on your 2nd win of the season.
Thank you. Yeah, important win today. Been hard work. Played 5 months out of 6 games. We had a bad spell. Played 2 games, lost 2 games. Game wasn't pretty today. As you can tell, I've lost my voice. Scrappy game. Game livened up last 15-20 minutes. We scored. Northcote had a couple of chances, but yeah, really happy. Got a long way to go, but just got to keep working hard.
It was a scrappy game, and both teams seemed to pick up right at the end, and Northcote pretty much threw everything at you, but you managed to hold them out.
Yeah. As soon as we scored 1-0, we lost our shape a bit. We panicked, and most teams always push people on, and they changed the formation. And Trent Rixon had a couple of chances. He could have equalised it, but Marty John once again was outstanding for me. It's been absolutely superb this season. But fantastic result for me, so I'm happy.
We saw your captain Fidell Richards go off in the second half. Is he okay?
Yeah, Fidell's reaching. Fidell's fine. He's not happy he got took off, but I had to change it. I changed it. It was 0-0. Then I brought Benny Coog on. 1 or 2 people weren't happy with Benny coming on, but he scored the winning goal. And sometimes you make right decisions and bad decisions. So today it went for me. Last 2 weeks it's been difficult, but I've got to play Richmond next Friday. Another difficult game. So 1 game at a time. I'm going to enjoy tonight.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your win, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.